Ah, the Super Mario Secret Exit. A boon to speedrunners and other like-minded individuals since as far back as the invention of the brick block. Now, while they may be great for the gamer in a hurry, they also create the interesting situation where one can find themselves beating an 82-level Mario game after only clearing 18 levels. That is a lot of content that a player can potentially skip. So today I raise the question, what is the level in a given Mario game that least needs to be played to beat the game? What level is the most skippable? Friends, today we search for the most unnecessary level in New Super Mario Bros. U. And I guess technically New Super Luigi U as well. To find the most unnecessary level in New Super Mario Bros. U, we are going to imagine that we have 100 Marios trying to beat New Super Mario Bros. U all at once. Their job is to press forward, beating every level in their path until they eventually get to the final level and beat the game. Whenever these Marios come to an intersection where multiple different levels will allow them to make progress, they will divide themselves evenly between the available levels. Once we've gotten all the Marios to the end of the game, we'll have a list that'll tell us which levels the fewest number of Marios pass through on their journey, and the level on that list that the least number of Marios played will be the most unnecessary level in New Super Mario Bros. U. Oh, and just to be clear, we're only worried about levels in the 8 main worlds of the game. Obviously the levels in World 9 aren't encountered by anyone on their way to rescuing Peach, so we aren't even bothering with them today. And as one last thing, yes, we are giving secret exits equal weight to normal exits in this simulation. Sure, most new players going in blind won't use all that many secret exits, but for our purposes, every possible path from a given level will be treated the same. With our methodology established, let's get started. But first, if you've got a prediction as to which level it'll be, now would be the time to leave it in the comments. I look forward to reading your theories. Alright, now let's do this. The first level of the game, Acorn Plains 1, Acorn Plains Way, is played by 100% of our Marios, for obvious reasons. All players then also progress through Tilted Tunnel, where they come across their first intersection. A two-way split between Acorn Plains Tower, Crushing-Cogs Tower, and a secret exit which leads to Acorn Plains Blooper, Blooper's secret lair, thus granting a 50% play rate to both of those levels. We'll catch up to those blooper-bound Marios later. For now, the 50% that took the tower route advanced to Acorn Plains 3, Yoshi Hill, leading to that level having a 50% play rate as well. Completing Yoshi Hill gives those Marios passage to a second fork in the road. Here that fork is between Acorn Plains 4 Mushroom Heights and Acorn Plains 5 Rise of the Piranha Plants. After dividing our Mario troop in half again, we are left with 25% going to each of those two levels. The division is short-lived though, as both 1-4 and 1-5 lead straight to Acorn Plains Castle, Lemmy's Swingback Castle, which 50% of players play. That means that Lair Cake Desert's first level, Stone Eye Zone, is starting off the world by welcoming 50% of our Marios. We then immediately arrive at another simple two-way fork, between Lair Cake Desert 2, Perilous Pokey Cave, and Lair Cake Desert 3, Fire Snake Cavern, both of which host 25% of the Marios. Then, just like last time, that branch comes right back together, this time at Lair Cake Desert Tower, Stoneslide Tower. So it, of course, gets the combined total of both those levels, 50%. The reunited Marios aren't together for long, though, as the path then immediately branches between Lair Cake Desert 4, Spike's Spouting Sands, and Lair Cake Desert 5, Dry Desert Mushrooms, meaning that both of those levels get cleared by 25% of players. Spike's Spouting Sands then features a branch itself, between its secret exit, Lair Cake Desert Ice, Piranha Plants on Ice, and its normal exit, Lair Cake Desert 6, Blooming Lakitus. This leads to 2-4 contributing half of its 25% to each of these levels, resulting in Piranha Plants on Ice receiving 12.5% of players since no other levels lead to it, and Blooming Lakitus getting 37.5% of players because in addition to 2-4's 12.5%, it also gets all 25% from 2-5. We'll look into where exactly those Marios that took the secret exit ended up a bit later. For now, we find that all Marios that venture into 2-6 also go to Lair Cake Desert Castle, Morton's Compactor Castle, meaning that 37.5% of our original cast can be found there. Next up is a branch giving a choice between two whole worlds, Sparkling Waters and Frosted Glacier, each of which will be receiving 18.75% of players at their first level. In the case of Sparkling Waters, that level would be Waterspout Beach. Sparkling Waters 2, Tropical Refresher, Sparkling Waters Tower, Giant Skewer Tower, and Sparkling Waters Ghost House, Haunted Shipwreck are all straight non-branching shots from each other, and therefore all inherit that same 18.75% of the Marios. We are then presented with quite the interesting set of branches in the wake of Haunted Shipwreck. The normal exit leads to a two-way intersection between Sparkling Waters 3 above the Cheep Seas and Sparkling Waters 4 Urchin Shoals, which would normally mean that they both get half of Haunted Shipwreck's players, but in this case they don't, as Haunted Shipwreck also has a secret exit leading to Sparkling Waters Leaf, Skyward Stalk, which means that the 18.75% is actually getting split three ways, with each level getting just 6.25% of our original crew of Marios. 3 Leaf goes far, far away to a land I'm sure we'll reach eventually. Meanwhile, 3-3 and 3-4 immediately come together again, meaning Sparkling Waters 5, Dragoneel's Undersea Grotto, and the level immediately following it, Sparkling Waters Castle, Larry's Torpedo Castle, are both visited by 12.5% of our players. And that same 12.5% is what Sparkling Waters will be delivering to Soda Jungle. But before we are welcomed to the jungle, we need to sort through Frosted Glacier. Now remember, Frosted Glacier starts off by being visited by the 18.75% of players that Lair Cake Desert gave it. The beginning of the world is quite linear. Frosted Glacier 1, Spinning Star Sky, Frosted Glacier 2, Cooligan Fields, Frosted Glacier Tower, Freezing Rain Tower, and Frosted Glacier 3, Prickly Goombas, all inherit that same 18.75% of players. The linearity trend ends with a branch between Frosted Glacier 4, Scaling the Mountainside, and Frosted Glacier 5, Icicle Caverns, which each claim 9.375% of our Marios. Both of those paths then reconvene at Frosted Glacier Ghost House, Swaying Ghost House, which gives our Marios the choice between a secret exit leading to Frosted Glacier Philippus, Philippus Lake, which 9.375% of our total Marios take, never to be seen again, or at least not for a while. The other 9.375% take the normal exit, which leads to Frosted Glacier Castle, Wendy's Shifting Castle. Which brings us to Soda Jungle Airship, the mighty cannon ship, which is where the main paths from Sparkling Waters and Frosted Glacier come back together. That gives 5 Airship the sum of 12.5% of Marios and 9.375% of Marios, or 21.875%. Soda Jungle 1, Jungle of the Giants, is the only level that can be accessed from the airship, so that is 21.875% from there. But what do you know? As it turns out, this is where the first 2 secret exits let out. Finally, the 50% from Blooper's secret lair and the 12.5% from Piranha Plants on Ice are back with us, giving this level a fairly large 84.375% of players that play it. That percentage is then quickly reduced as the next level is actually a pair of levels. Soda Jungle 2, Bridge Over Poisoned Waters, and Soda Jungle 3, Bramble Woods, which means that each of them only gets half that amount, or 42.1875%. They then quickly reconvene at Soda Jungle Tower, Snake Block Tower. Well, somewhat. While Bramble Woods does bring its full 42.1875% to the tower, Bridge Over Poisoned Waters has a brick-based secret exit, which leads to a fork between 2 later levels in Soda Jungle. That means that its population is split 3 ways, with 14.0625% going each way. That means that Snake Block Tower ends up with 56.25% of players. That 56.25% is then sent in full to Soda Jungle Ghost House, Witch Way Labyrinth, which itself leads to 3 different levels. Soda Jungle 4, Painted Swampland, Soda Jungle 5, Deep Sea Ruins, and its secret exit, Soda Jungle Para-Beetles, Flight of the Para-Beetles. All 3 levels receive 18.75%. We'll see where Flight of the Para-Beetles went soon. For now, we shall focus on the normal exits branch. The normal exits in both of these levels are useless and gain the player nothing. As such, we don't even slightly care that they exist, and we'll just focus on what happens to our Marios after finding the secret exit in one of these levels. In both cases, this leads our Marios to a split path leading to either Soda Jungle 6, Seesaw Bridge, or Soda Jungle 7, Wiggler Stampede. Technically speaking, half of each of the Marios from the 2 earlier levels go to each of the 2 later levels. Practically speaking though, that just means we'll be dividing by 2 and then multiplying by 2, so in essence both 5, 6, and 5, 7 inherit 18.75% from their immediate predecessors, as well as 14.0625% from the secret exit back in 5-2, for a grand total of 32.8125%. Those 2 populations then get added together for the final level of the world, Soda Jungle Castle, Iggy's volcanic castle, which is attended by 65.625% of players. That 65.625% is then joined by the 6.25% from Skyward Stalk and the 9.375% from Philippus Lake, for a total of 81.25% of players taking on Rock Candy Mines 1, Fuzzy Clifftop. That 81.25% stays united through Rock Candy Mines 2, Porcupeffer Falls, and Rock Candy Mines Tower, Grinding Stone Tower, which is where we encounter our next intersection. And boy, this one sure is a doozy. Here's the deal, some of the shortcuts in World 6 are based on these stretch blocks, which are controlled by red and blue switches, which are often accessed by getting certain exits in levels whose available routes aren't immediately impacted by getting said switches. As an example, the secret exit in 6 Tower leads to 6-6, which has the potential to let us, after playing 6 Tower 2, skip 6-7, but only if we have access to a red switch, which we can get by also playing 6-3. Here's a diagram of exactly what routes can get our Marios through Rock Candy Mines, which ultimately gives us the following percentages. Rock Candy Mines 3, Waddle Wings Nest has 40.625%. Rock Candy Mines 6, Thrilling Spine Coaster also has 40.625%. Meanwhile, Rock Candy Mines 4, Light Blocks Dark Tower, only has 27.083% repeating, since 6-3 and 6-6 feed into each other, but do not do so for 6-4. Rock Candy Mines 5, Walking Piranha Plants, has 40.625% from all of 6-4's players and half of 6-3's initial wave players, as the half that went to 6-6 obviously didn't go to 6-5, and the players that stopped by from 6-6 were there specifically to unlock a shortcut unlocked later along 6-6's route, and therefore also didn't have any interest in going to 6-5. I'll note here that to do the whole 6-6-6-3 shortcut to skip 6-7, you actually have to get both the secret exit and regular exit from 6 Tower. But since those are just players replaying 6 Tower, it's not going to affect the percentage because still the same people are playing it, if that makes any sense. Rock Candy Mines Tower 2, Screw Top Tower gets 81.25%, since every route through Rock Candy Mines has to go through Screw Top Tower. Rock Candy Mines 7, Shifting Floor Cave, only gets 33.85416% repeating of traffic. 20.3125% of this is from the half of players that didn't get the secret exit in 6-5. The other 13.5416% repeating comes from the players who went through 6-6 but didn't make an attempt to unlock a red switch to bypass 6-7. That 33.85416% repeating then joins the 20.3125% that did take the secret exit in 6-5, and the 27.083% repeating that did the whole 6-6 and 6-3 combination of levels to unlock the 6-7 bypass. That makes 81.25% of players that play Rock Candy Mines Castle, Roy's Conveyor Castle. That 81.25% is then joined by the 18.75% from Flight of the Para-Beetles, meaning that Moraine Clouds 1 Land of the Flying Blocks is the first level in a long while that 100% of players play. That then leads to a basic 50-50 split between Moraine Clouds 2 Seesaw Shrooms and Moraine Clouds 3 Switchback Hill, which then rejoin at Moraine Clouds Tower Slide Lift Tower to make for once again 100% attendance, which carries over to Moraine Clouds Ghost House, Spinning Spirit House. Spinning Spirit House can then lead to 4 different levels. The first two, Moraine Clouds 4, Bouncy Cloud Boomerangs, and Moraine Clouds 5, A Quick Dip in the Sky, can only be accessed from Spinning Spirit House, and therefore receive 25% of players each. Moraine Clouds 6 can be accessed by 7-4 and 7-5, as well as Spinning Spirit House, leading to its 75% play rate. That level, along with the secret exit in Spinning Spirit House, then in turn leads to Moraine Clouds Castle, Ludwig's Clockwork Castle, which 100% of players experience. All of them then go on to Moraine Clouds Airship, boarding the airship. Next up is Peach's Castle 1, Meteor Moat, which 100% of Marios must brave. Meteor Moat contains a secret exit leading to a 50-50 split between Peach's Castle 2, Magma-River Cruise, and Peach's Castle 4, Firefall Cliffs. Magma-River Cruise then gives way to Peach's Castle 3, Rising Tides of Lava, which also attracts 50% of players. 8-3 and 8-4 then rejoined for Peach's Castle Castle, Red Hot Elevator Ride, causing 100% of Marios to pass through this level. And finally, Peach's Castle Castle 2, the final battle, as the final level, is of course enjoyed by 100% of players. So then, taking a look at our list, it would seem that the most unnecessary level in New Super Mario Bros. U isn't a level at all, but a tie between 3 levels. Above the Cheep Seas, Urchin Shoals, and Skyward Stalk. So congratulations, you 3 levels. I'm sure your designers must be proud that you've earned such a title. Oh, and by the way, since in New Super Luigi U the world map is exactly the same, the most unnecessary levels in that game would be Waterspout Sprint, the Great Geysers, and Beanstalk Jungle. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and since it's a fair departure from what I've mainly been doing on this channel, feedback would be especially appreciated. Would you like to see more videos in similar vein? And if so, what would you like to see from such videos going forward? But anyways guys, the next video is going to be back in the standard format, and let me tell you, it's going to be a big, and at least in my opinion, exciting one. Until then, I've been SeemaCraft, and I hope to see you there. Goodbye.